Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to this live session. Hope you're doing well. My name is Soro. I'm a dog trainer, also coach dog owners, and this is Soro Dog Training with Soro channel. We talk about dog training, how to train dogs using relationship based dog training. And if you're new here, we are going to talk about dogs. I'm going to update you with some news and also Q&As. If there are any questions you have, I'm going to talk about and I'm going to show you a live um, dog training session that we're going to continue on learning about how to train dogs to walk properly on leash. So I have, let me see, I have, if I have everything ready, may have everything ready. Okay, so I have that as well. So let me see, there we go. Yeah, we're gonna talk about leash walking as well and all of that in this live session with Sorrow Dog Training from Dog Training with Sorrow. All right, okay, so first of all, welcome. I just wanted to start up with a question Q&A session that if someone has sent me a question. I want to answer that question first and then update you with some news, and then we get to the lesson. So the first question is, let me see if I can bring that up in the screen so we can all see it. Where would it be? There it is. Okay. All right. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so you can see it as well. So this is Thalia. Thalia is asking me, how can I best train Rafiki? Rafiki is the dog name, to let me know when he wants to go out. I have a ribbon of bells hanging on the door and ring them when he's head or paw each time, but he hasn't apparently made the link. So this is one of those issues that it comes down to potty training, basically. So let me see. Can I put this? Yeah, okay. So it has to do with potty training. So Rafiki, it's a puppy, so it needs some guidance about how to do the potty. How to let the owner know to go potty, and also basically potty training. So how do we teach our puppies to potty train? So she's bought one of those bells and hung it on the door for the dog, to the puppy, to go and ring it, so to let the owner know that he wants to go out to do the business. But the dog, the puppy, is not doing it. It's not giving that warning. So how do we teach that? So first of all, we have to teach that behavior. It's not something that a dog will recognize and figure it out, um, which is kind of interesting to understand the concept. For me, I would say I like, when I have a puppy, I like to be more organized than that, and not to kind of wait until the puppy tells me to go out to do his business. So I prevent things to happen. So what I mean by that is, instead of using the bell, which is, it's a good option. I'll teach you how to actually teach that, but I would say prevent it before that, rather than wait until the puppy tells you. So what I would do, I would start investing like 2 or 3 days, um, watching the puppy and making some notes on a piece of paper. Uh, so the first day, 2, 3 days, what I would do, I would invest in the puppy. I would say, okay, I'm going to take the puppy every hour out. That's extreme, but you could do every hour if you want. You could do every 2 hours. So you take the puppy every few hours out, and then what you do is you wait until the puppy does its business. If the puppy does its business, great. If the puppy doesn't do its great, you wait 5-10 minutes. If the puppy doesn't do its business, that's okay. You bring it back and then you try it again an hour later. um, what that does is, first of all, allows the puppy to do its business, so you're preventing it from happening. um, and second of all, you're kind of taking notes, like you're taking data to figure out, okay, every time, for example, every hour that I bring this puppy out, it pees. So apparently I have to bring this puppy out every hour. But that could be the case. Could be also the case that you bring the puppy out every hour and doesn't pee every time, maybe pees every 2 hours. So that gives you a database that you can say, okay, so this dog, this puppy, apparently needs to pee every 2 hours. Now you know. So the reason I say, like, take a piece of paper and note is because we forget, and it's good to take track, figure out what is happening actually. So, for example, if I take my puppy out at 10 o'clock in the morning and it pees, I'll mark down on the piece of paper that peed at 10 o'clock. And then I take it out at 11 o'clock. It doesn't pee, but it poos at 11 o'clock. So I'll mark it down at 11. And then I'll take it out at 12 o'clock. It doesn't pee. I'll bring it back. And then I'll take it at 1 o'clock. It will pee. So now I have an idea of, throughout the day, first 1 or 2 or 3 days that I'm keeping track, I have an idea now of understanding, okay, my puppy needs to go out every 2 hours or every 3 hours or every 5 hours it needs to poop, every 2 hours needs to pee. So once you figure that out, then you're going to be able to, as I said, prevent the accidents from happening by taking the puppy out before it does want to pee or poop. So once you figure that data, once you have that database, once you have that formula that you have an idea of when your puppy has to go out and do its business, then you can rest and relax and just take it out whenever you need to. John, the Beagle Dad, is in the house. Welcome, John. This is a nice surprise. Yes, I know. It's been a while. I haven't gone live. It's just live. But I'm going to try to go live as much as possible. And Meluna is in the house as well. Hello, Meluna. Thank you for being here. And yes, thank you, John, for being here as well. It's a pleasure to be spending the Sunday afternoon with you, every one of you. So thank you. So first of all, I would say that would be my ideal approach of how I would approach potty training. Now, regarding the bell, teaching the puppy to ring the bell when it needs to go out, I would say, the best way to do that is you hang the bell to the door that the puppy usually will be going out to do its business, and then every time you're going out, so that's why it's important to keep track of the information that you have. Let's say my puppy needs to pee and poo every 2 hours, let's say. So taking it at 11, and then now it's 1 o'clock. I need to go out. I need to take the puppy out. So I would take it out, and then as we're going out, I'll ring the bell, and then I'll let it out because it's time for the business, right? So I'll ring the bell to give the cue to the puppy that if we're going out for doing the potty, and we ring the bell and we go and we just do potty. We don't do anything else. We don't play. We don't do anything. We just take the puppy out, put it in the spot that it needs to pee, put the puppy there. We say, you know what, go pee pee, go poo poo, whatever you have to say, whatever the keyword is, say that. Then if it does it, good boy, good girl, praise the dog. And if it doesn't, 5 minutes or so, you take it, you bring it back, and then you try it again. And during that period, you know that the puppy has to pee, so you ring the bell, and then a few times, so for the dog to learn, okay, whenever we're going for potty, that bell rings. So you're introducing the concept to the puppy. Once the puppy learns that concept, then you can literally go and put the puppy in front of the bell and kind of encourage the puppy to touch the bell and make that noise, and then take it out. And believe it or not, puppies and dogs in general, they're very smart. They put two and two together, they figure it out, and you can let the puppy automatically is going to start learning to do that. But you have to introduce it. You have to kind of encourage it, introduce it first for the puppy to get to know that concept itself, and then you kind of go from there. All right. I hope that answers your question. John the Beagle says Porto's doing much better. Porto's is the Beagle, but still has food aggression. I feed him half his food by hand, half in the bowl, somewhat working. John, just to inform you that food aggression is something that it's something that it can be fixed, it can be addressed. But first of all, if you understand why it is happening, and then it'll make sense the way you're going to approach the fixing it. So one of the things that I would do is I would one of the things that I would help you to understand is the reason a puppy or a dog becomes food aggressive or food sensitive is because when a puppy is born, it has to compete with 6 or 7 or 8 other puppies to get to the food mom, right? The source, which is mom. And when a puppy is having a hard time getting to the source, either because it's smaller, is weaker, or it's not strong enough to fight its way to get to mom, it will start developing this negative association with food that I can't get to the food, and food becomes what you call rare, right? It will have a hard time getting food. So when it has a hard time getting food, it will start being more sensitive about food. So it will fight its way. It will start developing that behavior of fighting over getting to the food because it can't tolerate being hungry, right? So that's the reason why dogs become basically food aggressive or food sensitive. It happens at birth, like after birth, when they are puppies, and they have a hard time getting food. And that memory, that struggle, that trauma, I call it tattoos in their brain, and you can never ever get rid of that, because once it is tattooed in their brain, um, it becomes part of life. Unfortunately, um, so when it comes to adults who have food sensitivity or food aggression, you have to understand that it's not a matter of changing that behavior, because it is a behavior that it has been already uh, developed in its Portos system. You can get rid of it, but what you can do, you can control and manage it. So what I mean by control and manage it is, um, as a human being ourselves, when we want to eat in peace, right? You know, I don't want somebody to start putting their hand or their uh, you know stuff in my dish, in my plate. I want to eat my dish. I want to eat my food in peace and joy and comfort. I don't want to deal with somebody annoying me while I'm eating. Same thing, you have to consider understanding about dogs. You know that you should let them eat in peace. If especially a dog who has food sensitivity, food aggression, you should let them eat in peace. And uh, yeah, as you said, give him space. Yes, give him space and time. And uh, you say, I don't want to hurt his feeling, and he thinks I'm taking his food away from him. Yeah. So what I want you to do is, for time being, give him that space and time, and the environment, peace and quiet to eat. But there are things that you can do before and after eating, right? The training shouldn't be during the feeding. most dog trainers, most dog trainers and most dog owners, they start dealing with the issue, with the problem that they have with their dog on the at the moment the behavior happens. So let's say if the dog is pulling on the leash, they try to fix the dog during while the dog is pulling on the leash on the street. Or if the dog is reactive to cats, they try to fix the dog reactivity to cats as it's reacting to cats. Or if the dog is food aggressive, they try to fix the reactivity or the aggression to the food during feeding. The reason I don't suggest to do that, the reason I don't suggest to train or work on that so-called unwanted behavior at that moment is because uh, at that moment, for example, in Porto's case, he's he's in hyper um, excited, maybe aggressive, maybe angry, maybe super. Look, I need the food. I need, what do you call? How do you call? It's very can't wait to eat the food, right? In that moment, the mindset is not the right mindset to teach it anything, or train it. I don't suggest training dogs in that situation. Not only because it backfires to you and you don't get the great results that you need, but also what it does, it makes the dog uh, to actually hate that situation, um, and hate you. So you're making the relationship go in a wrong way, in negative way. And also it makes the dog to hate that situation, that let's say feeding time. It starts becoming a big issue, right, for the dog and for you. uh, so I don't suggest to put the dog in that situation and then start teaching it the training, because the brain also is not in the right mindset to learn or be trained. So everything that you do is going to affect negatively. And stay tuned, because we're gonna fix a dog training leash walking issue uh, in this live video. Um, which I'm gonna actually explain a little bit more regarding this concept that I'm talking about. So stay tuned. We're gonna learn this. This is gonna happen in this live video. Uh, so I would say just take it easy, give it a space. There are things that you can do before and after the feeding. Before feeding, you can ask Portos, for example, can you sit? Can you wait? Can you stay? And add more and more duration, and then more distractions. Food at that moment could be distraction. It's not although you're going to feed Portos as soon as it does what you're asking it to do and becomes reward, but it could be also distraction. What if I ask Portos to sit and stay, for example, and then I bring the food right close to his face, and it breaks the command? There's no opportunity for us to fix the idea of stay. We're using food at that moment as distraction. But once we offer the food to him and he eats, he starts to eat, just leave it alone. And then later on, when he's done eating, then you can start, improving everything else that you need to improve, including, believe it or not, the relationship between you and Portos. If Portos is reacting to you because you have food, I would highly suggest you to improve the relationship between you and Portos into the level that Portos should not behave aggressively towards you. If it's behaving aggressively towards you, uh, that's a sign of a problem that we have. That means we haven't done enough to improve our relation and solidify our relationship, um, unfortunately. But you can always work on that. You can always improve the relationship, not during the feeding, after the feeding. He gets an early afternoon feeding, then an evening feeding. Am I waiting too long to feed him? Yeah, I think it's too long. I would suggest one in the morning, one in the evening feeding periods. Um, but 6 hours, maybe 6 to 8 hours of space between morning and the evening feeding, and then the rest of the time it goes to fasting, right? So yeah, maybe try that. Feed earlier in the morning. So for example, I feed Annie 10 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the evening. Uh, so that gives us about 7 hours of feeding time, and then the rest of the time she fasts. Yeah, he sits and waits no more than 30 seconds. We can do better than 30 seconds. Yeah, use the food as distraction, improve the 30-second to go to 1 minute, 2 minutes, even 5 minutes. That's your homework. That's your goal. That should be your goal. Meluna, my dogs always want to play with my 2 years old boy, but sometimes he's a little aggressive. My dog has 1 year and a half. He's a mixture of golden retriever, but he's not that big. The the aggression is a sign again that the dog, your dog, is too hyper, too, like, especially when it comes to kids and dogs to play together, for example. um, I would say it's a little bit iffy, risky thing that you're doing overall. The dog should be playing either a game that is designed for that, let's say, that kid and dog to play. For example, fetch, right? I would design a game of fetch that they can play together. But one of the things that I would consider preventing is the excitement. So I would bring that energy level a little bit down before I allow the dog to play with the kid, with your boy. So therefore, the dog is not over excited, over celebrating the fact that it gets to play. And retrievers and those kind of dogs, they're just uh, very dramatic. They when you play with them, they say, "Oh my God, this is the best thing ever happened to me," and they really go at it, right? So I would say, first of all, bring the energy level down before you allow the retriever to play with your boy, and therefore you will see better results. And the other part would be, if they're going to play together, I would design a game that they can play together safely, such as fetch, which is, you know, the retriever retrieves something, brings it to the boy grabs it, throws it, and then the dog retriever goes and retrieves them back to fetch game. Fetch game would be the best game to play, I would say, between your dog and your boy. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Let me know if there is a follow up question or anything that I missed. Very good. Yeah, change his time. I just don't want him to get impatient. He can be spunky. Uh, these are things that you're expecting. You're thinking, oh, if I don't feed him, he's gonna be angry and hate me and this and that and impatient. You gotta provide your puppy's daily five essential needs. Remember that. And if you're not providing the five needs, then you're in trouble. But if you provide them in properly, in the right order, again, just a reminder, those who don't know what the five daily essential needs of a dog is, they are exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection, and you have to provide them in that order. Uh, Two, three, four, five times a day, depending on the dog and the energy of the dog that you have. And then you train it. You train it, and then that shouldn't be a problem. There's exercise, there's training, there's socialization, care. Care is the feeding time, and then affection. So if you need to repeat that, or that needs those needs in that order for five times a day, go ahead and do it. But as long as you do it, the dog is not going to complain or be impatient. So let's John says, yes, I remember. I'm up at 6. Start work bed to get those essential needs. Very good. So let's start watching this video that I have regarding leash walking. Push this way. You want to warm up the dog and see if he's cooperating with us. So we go in narrow spaces, see if it's working, and walk. Okay, so before we get started, I started a little bit too fast. Okay, too soon. So last couple of weeks ago, I posted a video on my channel regarding how do we improve the leash walks, right? The walks outside. But you have to understand that when it comes to leash walking, outside, I would say about 60 to 70 to 80% even of the leash walking outside training happens indoors. This is the key. This is very important. The indoors has to happen more than outdoors before we go outdoors. I'm not saying don't take your dog for a walk, but the training has to be done indoors before you go outdoors. So the video that I shared them on my channel, and it's on my channel if you want to go ahead and watch it, maybe 2 videos before the last video. It's a leash walking lesson. That's where I introduce you the 3 steps that you can start working on in the house. One is, you know, um, starting training the dog indoors, playing with the dog, and improving the walks inside of the house itself. And in this video, I'm gonna show it to you exactly what I mean by that before we get outside. And this is the part maybe that you have to understand, that the importance of training and working with the dog indoors uh, is more valuable than working with the dog outdoors. Okay, so let's start with the lesson. We're using harness in his case.
My time?
No. So I'll show you, um, and then I'll ask you to do it, and then we go from there. So the first thing that we want to do is most this way. We want to warm up the dog and see if he's cooperating with us. So we go in narrow spaces, see if he's working and walking with us. So meanwhile, while we're watching, I'm going to pause and explain a little bit as well. So this dog is very reactive outdoors. So we are trying to improve its behavior outdoors, but we're working on it indoors. So inside of the house, if we don't have control over our dogs, then we don't have obviously control outside of the house. So this is why we are practicing this lesson indoors. We have a nice loose leash. The idea of walking on a loose leash is that the dog can be on a loose leash. This is correction. Tight leash is correction. Loose leash is okay. Can do whatever it wants as long as it's not pulling on the leash and it's not reacting. That's very important. Remember, tight leash is correction. Loose leash is reward, normal, natural. Most of you who have a dog who's pulling on the leash and is reactive, most of you have, when you're going for a walk, you're walking on a tight leash. Just pay attention next time you go for a walk, see if the leash is loose or is tight. Most of you with reactive dogs are walking on a tight leash. Right? So they're free to do whatever they want and, enjoy the walk.
I noticed something that you said on one video that Cass sent me.
Yeah.
And I had a Rottweiler before, and same thing, just trying to train him properly. And should always want to pull on the leash. So I'd be walking, she once again, hand go that way, turn around, go the other way.
Yes.
And the trainer is working with at the time, so your neighbor might think you're crazy. You're gonna walk 5 feet, turn around, walk 5 feet the other way until they learn. Okay, I better pay attention to where it's going. Yes, like you're saying, the whole loose leash.
Yes. Same idea. Yeah. But instead of me going back and forth, looking like a fool, but what I do is I do this. Nope. I get this. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Yes. And then when he comes, I give him lots of praise, right? So he understands, okay, this is a spot that he's going to get praise, right? So the idea here, again, is to go on a loose leash. Okay, Moose. So is it separating himself from me, kind of? But he corrected himself. Good boy, Moose. Yes. Good boy. Yes. He comes back for a nice scratch and affection. So is he? He's checking in. Good boy. There we go. He's checking in. Good boy. Yes. Yes. So that's what we want. We want him to constantly check. We're saying don't disconnect yourself from me. Like, there are dogs like your Rottweiler, they just go and, on their own, right? It's like, no, they're walking on by themselves.
Bruce is like, I'm all tangled up.
Right? And it's okay if they are walking on by themselves, if they're off leash and off leash trained. But if they're on leash, they have to learn that when I'm on leash, I have to check back with the handler, whoever handling, right? So they have to understand that I'm not off leash, first of all, and also I'm not separated from him. There are some rules, some ideas. There we go. So now we have a little bit of connection, right? We're seeing that he's cooperating. Good boy. Now, most dog owners, the mistake that they make is they say, I'm going to go and train the dog over there outside. But this is the area that you should train first.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't have control here, you won't have control over there. So, for example, if I open the door, so the idea here again is pay attention to me, get cues from me. I'm not saying don't go out. I'm saying remember I'm here, right? So many of you don't do exercises like this, don't take the time to do this exercise. This itself is very important, it's very stimulating, and it's very effective. So if you take your time to go through this boring exercise for a few days, maybe a week or even 10 days, you'll get over that behavior. This is step 2 or 3 of getting the results that you want. And also, it's not a matter of who goes out first, as long as he's walking with me.
Right.
That's the goal. Much better this time. Nope. So now the door is open. Correct? Good boy. Yes. Good boy. So one of the things that you're going to also notice that I do or use is verbal cue of no. No means don't do that behavior. For me, no means don't do that behavior, whatever behavior it is. If it's biting, if it's barking, if it's pulling on the leash, if it's jumping on the couch, if it's scratching the door, whatever it is, no is the cue word of stop that behavior. I'm not trying to confuse the dog by teaching it stop doing that, don't get on the couch, stop digging, don't bark, stop barking. There are so many words that can confuse and complicate the training. So I stick to one simple word, which is no, and that no is taught to the dog through repetitions of exercises like this. So the dog starts learning to respond to the cue of no. So is he going on his own?
Yeah.
Nope. He's not ready to go out yet. You correct, you bring him back, and you try it again. Nope. so that's the threshold, right? Yeah. That separates this level to the next level, right?
He looks at me.
That's better. I just want to just point out that part that the owner, she said the dog is looking at her. From human point of view, human perspective, we'll humanize that behavior. We'll say, uh, I'm sure that's the thought that it came to her mind and also your mind. The dog is looking at mom, mom, save me, what's going on? That's not what it is. The conversation that the dog is having at the moment, and also, uh, the way it's looking at the mom, yes, it is stressful situation. The dog is working with somebody else, with me, right? I'm a stranger to that dog, but he knows me here and there, he sees me here and there. We don't have that solid relationship. What we have, I call it working relationship. When a dog trainer works with a dog, there's a different relationship. There's a working relationship that happens. It's different than the relationship that the dog owner has with the dog. So from that perspective, the dog is looking at mom and saying, why are you allowing this human, for example, to take charge of this situation? And it's annoying, and I'm not comfortable, and I'm not liking it. Yes, these are questions that goes in the dog's mind and your mind as well. And it is a stressful exercise. Reason I don't do these exercises, I mean this type of work anymore in person, and I do online, is because I see that whenever I train a dog in person with the dog and the human, the owner, the dog is more stressed than when I teach you to do this on your own and you start practicing on your own, which we're going to get to it in a moment. We're going to get to it that the owner is going to exercise, practice, and do it. That is more effective. One of the reasons I don't do in-person dog training anymore, and I appreciate and I prefer online dog training and coaching, is because I'm not, as a dog trainer, I'm not in your environment, and I'm not stressing your dog either. Any dog trainer who works with a dog owner, the dog and the dog owners are getting stressed. That's reality. That's a fact, right? So to reduce the stress as much as possible, I really love when I work with dog owners online and I coach them what to do and how to do it, and they do it themselves. So so pay attention to that as well. That's better. And then we come back. So we're still like.
He's like, oh man, I got
I was just about there. You're just going on. What happened? Nope. So you have to clear this communication.
Yeah.
You have to understand that human.
If I stop, you stop.
Yes, human doesn't let me go out until there is some sort of deal.
He says, I'm on to your game.
You see? Now he's thinking.
Yes.
What does he want? He wants me to. Nope. So this is level 1. This is level 2.
Okay.
Right? Level 3 would be, for example, I'll show you level 3, but I want you to accomplish level 1 and 2. So do you see the way we are approaching this training? We are not using aversive tools. We're not using aversive method. We're not using treats. We're just simply interacting with the dog in a healthy, clear way. And as I said in the lesson, we have to clarify the communication. This is how you clarify communication. When you include treats, food, aversive tools, and methods, you're adding more distractions and more garbage to the communication, where it doesn't allow the communication to be clear. So to be clear, just use yourself, a simple leash, a harness, and just that's it. Just explain that to your dog that this is what I want. If you can't invest time and energy on simple exercises like this and doing the work, basically, there's nothing else that it will help. Everything else that you do, everything else you buy, everything else you invest on tools and treats and all that, those are band-aid solutions. Those don't fix the core issue. Those don't fix the problem. Those make the problem actually make it worse. So this is what you need to do. So just simply do it,
That's right.
Right? So yes, baby steps. So level one, let's see if you have
Moose, this way.
connection with him.
This way.
So he has to learn, okay, the handler changed now. It's not me, it's you now.
This way.
So
this
go
way.
around over here maybe. Let's
Nope.
see, let's connect a little bit. Go around the coffee table first. No,
This way. This way. This way. Good boy.
Good.
This way.
Make sure that
This way.
if you're pulling, that's not good.
Nope, I'm not pulling.
Okay.
This way.
So he's ahead, he's disconnecting. Okay, he checked back. Bring it back to you and
This way.
praise him.
This way. Good boy. Good boy.
Yes.
Good boy.
Always remember
Good
to reward him.
boy.
So he says, okay, that's the sweet spot for me to be.
This way. Up. Nope.
Not up.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so hard for me to get that out.
Yes. Because, again, when you are using different words,
It confuses them.
it confuses. You have to be clear, You can either use up if that's your power tool, if your power word, or you can use no, whichever you're comfortable. Pick one and stick to that one.
Let's go no.
Yeah.
Whichever empowers you.
That's the problem, is that with all my dogs, my whole life, I've gone,
Okay,
but he doesn't.
okay, so that's your power, right? And if you have different people, right, one has to adjust to the other.
So I'm trying really hard. I've been saying no all week, since we've started. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to switch it over. So
Okay, so maybe just remember.
for a lifetime of
Yes, it's
pull out.
hard to let go. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a habit, right?
It is.
And
Training YouTube.
Yes,
and imagine the habit that he has built,
exactly.
right? It's hard to let go. So now you know where he is at and where
Yeah.
you're at, right?
Yeah.
It's always good to remember that certain behaviors have become habit to the dog,
Right.
right? And we need to realize that and be aware of it and work around it. So don't blame him.
No.
He's trying.
He is trying really hard.
Yes, and you're trying too.
Yeah.
Right. So okay. All right.
So you want me to go around again?
Yes. One more time. Just
This way.
remember you're
This way.
saying no.
This way.
It is very important for you also to always remember that you're working on it. It is hard for you, and as much as it is hard for you, it is hard for the dog as well. Always remind yourself that as well, to not only to make the exercise, the work that you're doing to become easier and tolerable, but it makes you human. It makes you become vulnerable to the idea of that it is complicated and it's confusing and it's stressful for me. Now, time tend that and feel what the dog feels. Okay, so always remind yourself that part as well.
This way.
Remember
Moose.
to reward him.
Good
too.
boy. No, this way. Good boy. Good boy.
Very good. He connected. Say good boy.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Yes, a good boy.
Nice, right? Now try to go towards the door, see if it disconnects, and then open the door a little bit. So he's already disconnected, right? So bring him back, yes. So
This way.
one fun fact, just doing this training, just opening the door and closing, coming back for 15 minutes it's equal to 2 hours of hike.
Good boy. Good boy.
Yes.
Good boy.
But
Okay, I want you to remember that. I just said that, but it didn't fly high. The training that we're doing, that let's say 10, 15 minutes of just opening the door, walking around the table and doing this and that, is equal to 2 hours of hiking for the dog. For the dog, okay? So just imagine that. You're doing a 15 minutes of training, which is mental and physical simulation, is equal to taking the dog for 2 hours to the woods and mountains and uh, outdoors and hike with it and run and jump with it for 2 hours, and finally to get the dog tired and stimulated physically and mentally. You're doing it in 15 minutes. So there's so much benefits there beyond the fact that you're fixing the leash pulling and the reactivity.
you have to do this every day, every time you're going for a walk, for the first few weeks,
This way, Moose.
until
This
it
way.
becomes a new habit.
Good boy. Good boy. Nope. Good boy.
Good.
Good
So
boy.
if you can't control this here,
Good
if
boy.
you have level 3 or 4, then how are you supposed
Good boy. He's like, okay, we open the door.
Nice.
Big deal.
Yes. One more time, and this time you're gonna go a little bit out.
Swims.
And then hopefully
This way.
I'll introduce the level 3.
This way. Good boy, Moose. Good boy.
Good boy.
Good boy.
So this is really important for you to understand. Okay, we are not even going out for a walk, and we are introducing level 3. Is your mind blown or what? So this is what you have to go through, understanding and learning and training and teaching and figuring things out in order to address reactivity or model behaviors, especially when it comes to outdoors, right? It doesn't need to be that complicated, doesn't need to be that difficult. You can do it. You can simply create the environment, situation, conditions, and exercises that it will not only help you but build the foundation for the rest of the exercises and the training that you're doing. So I hope I'm giving you something that you can actually work on and take action. Okay, so let's continue. So before we continue, you see what I'm doing in here. So let me just quickly explain what I'm doing. What I'm doing here is introducing a toy that the dog really loves as a distraction. So that toy can represent a dog, a cat, an object outdoors that the dog is usually reactive to. Again, if you can't control this in this, if you can't control the dog in this controlled environment, controlled exercise, controlled situation, good luck for us if we are outdoors and then the dog is reacting and then we try to fix it. So that's the key.
We don't even have to go for a walk, right? So, okay, let me work on him. You distract him with the toy. So you see now, many people, they skip these levels and go straight to the war zone.
Oh, it's a
So,
baby.
nope.
Oh, baby.
Nope. Nope.
That's a baby.
Try your best to pull the leash to the side.
So you can see that the level of the correction now is higher and more extreme. Yes, because we introduced a new distraction. So we have to be a little bit, in the beginning, we're going to be a little bit more extreme, and then eventually it's going to start going down and down. It's going to lower that level of correction.
Is it that level 3 is not working?
Because he loves it.
Also, because level 1 and 2 haven't been accomplished
That's
yet.
right, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So this is why it's so important, especially with reactive dogs, that toy and you are representing a dog, a human, walking on the
Anything
street,
out here.
right?
So that's very important also to remember. The reason we're not getting good results at the moment, because for sake of demonstration, for sake of showing you, and because you want to get results and answers quickly and fast and all that, I, as a dog trainer, I when you when a student works with me, when a client works with me, we don't go this fast. We accomplish step, and then we go to the next and next and next. But for sake of YouTube and TV and people not having patience to learn and understand in slower pace, I'm just showing you a fast fast uh, uh, technique and fast. We're going too fast. We haven't accomplished level 1 and 2 with this dog yet, and we're introducing level 3, right? So that's the reason. Very important to remember and remind yourself also when you're training and working with your dog.
Scroll, whatever it is. Nope. Nope.
Oh, the baby.
Nope. So you say no and you correct, but if he's giving you this, you have to reward him. Nope. So you see, you don't even have to go for a walk.
No.
I mean, it's good to go for a walk, but with a dog who's trained a little bit, right? If you haven't trained the dog, there's no point going for a walk because the dog
Isn't gonna listen.
stresses it actually.
Yeah.
The walk becomes a stressful experience. Nope. 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 So he's good boy. Yeah, connect. Give me something. Yes. Nope. Nope. Good boy. And many people, they give up right here. We're getting to 70, 80%. Nope. Good boy. You see the way I'm correcting. Nope. Nope. Good boy. You're
He's thinking about it.
85% there. Nope. Nope. 90%. Right? You're getting there. Nope. 92%. Here we go. Now we regret.
Ah,
Yes.
it's a baby.
You gave me 98%.
Oh, you got
You saw the transformation there, right?
Oh, you got
Change. So that's very important to work on these little things.
Yeah.
Because imagine if you are, let's say you're not comfortable with flying, and we take you right in the airplane and say we fly, you're gonna panic, right? But if we start introducing you slowly, maybe we put you on a chair and move you a little bit, okay? You feel the movement, and then we put you in a actual
Simulator.
So you have to go through those processes, right? And the best indication of this situation is that when you take him for a walk and he sees dogs and people, he reacts. That's a clear indication that he's not enjoying the walk, right?
Yeah.
Even though there's no people and dogs, he's looking to see if there are people and dogs because he's scared of it. He's in a fear or flight mode.
Fight or flight?
Fight or fear, flight mode.
Yeah.
Right? So when he's in that mode, he's not enjoying it.
Right.
So most reactive dogs, especially, they're in that mode when they're going for a walk.
Hence why he sleeps like crazy when we get back from one, because it was very stressful.
Trained up. Yes. So the purpose of these exercises is to say to the dog that pay attention to me and relax. So when he goes for a walk, he's
just enjoying it.
Enjoying it rather than
what's there? Yeah.
Right? So if a dog is in that mode, you better not to walk it actually. Right? Work on this. This is not going to be a forever. When I tell people don't walk your dog, they're saying,
oh no, I totally get it.
But my dog needs walk, right? Well, if you need to walk it for a purpose of, let's say, doing the toilet,
right?
Bathroom stuff, do a quick one and come back, right? But don't take the dog for a walk until you have accomplished something, some information, and then start building on that.
Okay.
Right? And it's always, remember, it's not forever.
Right.
I'm not saying don't walk your dog
forever. Absolutely. I mean, they get tons of exercise in here, and sometimes I'll take them out to the backyard, even though it's construction zone. But just doing this, if we can get control and he knows the rules, I'll do it all day long till he gets it.
Exactly. Yes. And the other thing is, this is why you always, like I like to do like coaching and helping dog owners because we can customize it, right? So there are situations that people can't exercise the dog. The dog doesn't get exercise. So that we have to come up with a different plan. But with your situation, for example, we have plenty of opportunities for them to exercise. He has a playmate.
Yes.
Right? They play together. So exercise is not an issue for them, right? They're working mainly on the training part.
Yeah.
And training part is the mental stimulation, is the part that you have to work on to improve.
Right.
And always remember, you can add layers. Level 1, can we accomplish it in a way that he literally just walks like he says, I'm done. I need a nap. So this is why training is good, because you can do it for 15 minutes, they get done.
Yeah.
Right? So if I can accomplish it here like this, Moose, nope, good boy. And in level 1, you can still add distractions too.
Mm-hmm.
You could be distraction, toys can be distractions. Then level 2 is the door opening, because as soon as you open the doors,
it's a whole different mentality.
Yes. And then level 3 is just right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then level 4 would be, let's go for a walk, take the toy with us. You're adding distraction during the walk.
Yes.
Right?
So I hope you learned something out of this lesson. Yes. And I hope I blown, your mind is blown, right? So that's how you improve the leash walk. That's how you improve the reactivity in dogs. That's how you improve, John, for example, the food reactivity, food aggression. That's how you improve a dog not listening and paying attention to you. There's so many benefits of this simple exercise that you can kind of embed it in your daily activities and daily life and just work on it. Make it a habit. Do it for a week, a month, if you have to, and you just make it better. Simple solution. I hope you learned something today, and I hope you gained something out of today's live session. A couple of updates, couple of information that I wanted to share with you as well is that our Perfect Dog Club community is open and running at the moment, and you're welcome to join for $49 a month. You get weekly live Q&A sessions just like this, but in one-on-one group, but in smaller group settings. You're gonna have training lessons and resources that you can study on your own and ask questions, and you have direct access to me as well for just $49 a month. And if you want to learn more, there is a link, learn more, and also to register for the community. There's a link in the description that you can join. And let me see if I can also put it in the chat area for you to, if you want to come and join me there. Community, I'll call it community, and there it is. It should be in the chat area. Plus, if you have any questions or any challenges with your dog, I'd love to help you, and I don't mind offering information. So that's why I do free discovery calls. This is where I give you information that you personally need, and I learn about your challenges, your difficulties that you're dealing with your dog, and I offer you solutions and answers. In return, I gain those information that I need to gain from dog owners like you. That your challenge, the challenges and the questions that you have, I gain those information so I can create content about those challenges and struggles that dog owners have. So feel free to book a free discovery call. There's no charge. No, I'm not selling you anything in these calls. My goal is not to sell you anything. My goal is to learn and figure out what your challenges are. The link is in the description for that as well. If you want to have a free one-on-one consultation with me, I call them free discovery calls, and it's available. In a week or two, I'm going to be taking a week or so off posting videos because I'm changing my my vision, my mission to what I'm doing. I'm going to be posting new format of content. I hope you're going to enjoy and benefit and like it. Feel free to be in touch with me. Please comment and let me know what you think about the videos and the content that I share. And as always, if you have any questions, leave your questions in the comments area. I read them all and I answer them all. And thank you for being here with me and spending your Sunday afternoon with me. And until next time, have fun with your dog. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.